ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपार करुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। परित्यज्य मौनं वठादस्थितिं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशं मधुस्यन्ति वाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गेण यन् श्रीजयेन्द्रो गुरुर्वादिचित्ते नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्यविजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीगुरुं शिष्टमार्गान्नेतारम् सन्मतिं प्रदं सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। Vedanta, it is a great teaching method. If you have to teach something to somebody, they call it as pedagogical approach. What is pedagogical approach? If you want to teach things to people, okay, at grade 1, at first grade, these things have to be taught. At second grade, these things have to be taught in this way. So A, B, C, D has to be taught in the beginning. 1, 2, 3 has to be taught in the beginning. We call all these things, and these are called as pedagogical approach, right? The same way, Vedanta is the greatest teacher. It is the oldest teacher. Whatever the pedagogical approach that we talk of today, so-called modern pedagogical approach, they have been spoken about. They have been taken into consideration in Vedanta. Vedanta will not give fancy names, that's it. But these approaches are there in Upanishads. These approaches are there in Bhagavad Gita. In fact, even more advanced, more efficient pedagogical techniques have been used in Vedanta. Because the difference between the modern education and Vedanta, or any education in Vedanta, is that in any education, in any teaching learning setup, the thing that is taught, it is an object. I'm going to teach about numerals. The teacher can write the numerals and show, hey, this is the numeral. I'm going to teach about computer. The teacher can take the computer to the class and then show the computer to the kids. Each and every blessed thing that we teach is an object, right? It is either an object of our sense organs in terms of computer, calculator, bicycle, a car motor. All these things are object of our senses, or it can be an object of our mind. Numbers, alphabets, what we teach are just the shape, how we used to depict. But the conceptual understanding of numbers, what is number? Zero, what is the concept of zero? What is the concept of 1? What is the concept of negative numbers? All these things, they are not the object of our senses, but they are object of our mind. Okay. programming thinking, engineering design. All these things are not object of our senses. You cannot show a program. In order to ask the students to have programming thinking or engineering thinking, it is a concept that has to be kindled in their mind, right? So it is an object of their mind and not the object of our senses. But the problem with Vedanta is that it does not teach about the object at all. It does not teach about the object at all. It teaches about the very subject. And because we have been used to study about the object, because we have been used to study about object, because we keep on objectify whatever we study. This is the class about a computer. The teacher cannot bring the computer into the class. So the teacher starts to describe the computer. You will start to develop a mental picture of computer in your mind. Dalian. We will start to develop a mental picture of computer in our mind. It is called as objectification of concepts. The teacher teaches about solar system. We cannot obviously go out and then stand out of the solar system, see how sun looks like. So when the teacher teaches, okay, sun is in the middle, and then Mercury, and then Venus, and then Mars, and then Earth, and then Mars, and Moon is surrounding around the Earth. You have Saturn. Saturn has got lots of rings. You have Neptune. You have Uranus. So all these things. The teacher will only orally tell these things. We will start to develop a mental picture in our mind. It is called as objectification of the concepts. It is called as objectification of the concepts. And because we are used to doing this all the time, the moment Vedanta teaches, hey, this is Atma. Atma is Akarta. Atma cannot be converted into parts. Our mind automatically will start to objectify the Atma. The problem comes when we start to objectify the Atma, because Shruti says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Atma cannot be the object of any sense organs. Yato vacho nivartante. Here vachaha, vak, is given as a example, as an upalakshanam. You should not take only, okay, only speech cannot describe Atma, but you can see Atma from any other sense. Cannot be the object of any sense at all. Yato vacho nivartante. Okay. Can Atma be objectified by my mind? Like how I objectify numerals, how I objectify concepts. Aprapya manasa saha. It cannot be an object of mind. It cannot be the object of our senses. Why not? Because Atma is the very subject which cannot be objectified. Atma is the very subject. I am Atma. After studying 10 Upanishads, after studying Viveka Chudamani, after studying Bhagavad Gita class, a person sits in meditation and then he keeps on meditating upon Atma. The Guru comes and asks, hey, what are you meditating about? The Shishya says, okay, hey Guru, I have sit through all of your classes. I have finished Viveka Chudamani. I have finished Bhagavad Gita. I have finished the entire 10 Maha Upanishads. And I have finished Brahma Sutram as well. I just want to have the glimpse of Atma before I die. I just want to have the glimpse of Atma before I die. The student says, the teacher says, okay, you don't have to die, pa, I will die. Because that is what the teacher has been teaching about. What does the teacher say? Okay, Atma is the very subject. Atma cannot be objectified. You are that Atma. All you have to do is just know that. All you have to do is just know that you are the Atma. Atma can never be objectified. So Atma, no matter how much ever meditation we sit in, no matter how much ever meditation we sit in, no matter for how long we do meditation, Atma can never be objectified. And if at all we see Atma in our meditation, know that that is not Atma. If at all we see something like some people will say, okay, I see white light when I sit in deep meditation, that is Atma. I hear sound, I hear Omkara from my Anahata Chakra, that is Atma. They are not Atmas. Why? Because they are objects. They are objects to your senses. They are objects of your mind. The moment you objectify something, that can never be an Atma. Very simple. The moment something can be objectified, that can never be an Atma. In order to teach Atma, Vedanta takes several methodologies, several approaches. The most basic pedagogical approach that they say is that you have to go from simple to complex. You have to go from simple to complex. You have to go from gross to subtle. You have to go from known to unknown. Like these are the three basic pedagogical approaches. If you are explaining a concept, you have to explain it from simple concept to complex concept. I am explaining quantum mechanics. I want to do PhD in quantum mechanics. I cannot learn quantum mechanics when I am 5 years old because it is very complex. What do? I have to learn arithmetics first. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, integration, differentiation. You have to know some physics first. And then you finish your master's. When you do your PhD, you can do PhD in quantum mechanics. From simple to complex. From gross to subtle. If you want to do quantum mechanics, because quantum mechanics is very subtle. Quantum mechanics is very subtle. You cannot do experiments as we normally do in physics to understand quantum mechanics. So what do? You have to first read classical mechanics. First read Newtonian mechanics. Right? Read Newton's first law, Newton's second law. Every object continues to be in motion or in rest unless otherwise disturbed by an external force. Newton first law. F is equal to ma. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What is elastic collision? What is inelastic collision? All these things are what? Newtonian mechanics. Gross, which we can do experiment and validate. And then talk about quantum mechanics. First speak about Newtonian mechanics and then talk about quantum mechanics, gross to subtle, because Newtonian mechanics is gross, GROSS. Gross and something tangible for our senses. And then you study about quantum mechanics, which is again like Vedanta, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. How much ever quantum mechanics you read, you are not going to understand. From gross to subtle. From known to unknown. That is very, very important. From known to unknown. So again, let us take quantum mechanics as an example. When people talk about orbitals in atoms, when people speak about orbitals in atom, S orbital, PQRS, 1s2, SPDF, S orbital is spherical in shape. d orbital has got donut shaped. You know what is very comedy is that there is an orbital called as d orbital. It is a concept that exists in physics. Nobody can validate that. Nobody can see that. Right? The shape of s orbital is spherical in shape, which people can understand. If I say sphere, I can be very assured that you will have the same mental image that I have as a sphere. But in India, they will teach what is the shape of p orbital. They say, okay, the shape of p orbital is donut shaped. For a person living in Tiruvayar or even a village than Tiruvayar, he would not even have seen a donut. Right? The pedagogical concept is what? You have to, from known to unknown. The concept of d orbital is very complex, unknown. Nobody has seen that. They have to give an example. The example that they give itself, people would not understand. When I studied physics, in school, well, wrote memory. Okay, p orbital is donut shape, p orbital is donut shape, p orbital is donut. I did not even know how a donut looked like. And you are giving an example of donut for understanding p orbital. So I just have to remember one more thing. What is the shape of p orbital? I don't know. I just remember the shape of p orbital is that of donut. On the other, at the same time, I don't even know how a donut looks like. They can easily say the p orbital looks like the vada. You know, the ulundu vada that we eat. They have got the same shape, right? From known to unknown. That is how teaching should be. Right? Just because somebody sitting in Western countries, they know about donut and then they teach. And then here we also repeat the same thing. The shape of p orbital is donut shape. The same shape of tRNA, clover leaf model of tRNA. Let us see biology. They talk about what is the shape of tRNA. tRNA, it is an RNA. It exists within our cell. They talk about the shape of tRNA is clover leaf shaped. What is clover leaf? In India, we don't see clover leaves. In India, we don't have that word at all. But in botany, in zoology, in microbiology, in molecular biology, everybody will teach about the shape of clover leaf. tRNA has got the shape of clover leaf. They can easily tell tRNA has got the shape of a wilvum leaf. Because in India, we only know wilvum, right? What is the wilvum? It has got 3 lobes and then there is a stem in the top. Simple to easy to understand. But we don't want to make things very simple. We always will want to make things very, very complex, right? But that is not good pedagogical methodology. Pedagogical methodology is from known to unknown. If I want to understand the shape of tRNA, it has to be compared to something that I already know, which is a wilvum leaf. We can say wilvum leaf model of tRNA, who is going to oppose? Right? Same way, now Vedanta has got even a bigger problem because Brahman nobody has seen. Completely unknown because it is very self. We have knowledge about each and every blessed thing in this universe, but we don't know about our own self. We have knowledge about each and every blessed thing about this universe, but we don't know our own self. And how to teach that Brahman to you? The greatest question Vedanta has got. That is why they talk about several nyayas. Why I gave this much big introduction? Because I did not prepare for the class. The Vedanta, they take the help of several nyayas. So all these nyayas are the teaching methodology that are employed by Vedanta, taking into the pedagogical approach of known to unknown, simple to complex, gross to subtle. Because Brahman is all the 3. Brahman is unknown, Brahman is complex, Brahman is completely subtle, Maha subtle. So it takes up all these all these approaches by employing a concept, a pedagogical way of teaching called as Nyaya. What is Nyayam? We will see some examples of Nyayam today, and then Nyayam that is employed in Vedanta today. Okay. The first Nyayam that they employ is Shakha Chandran Nyayam or Arundhati Nyayam. Shakha Chandra Nyayam or Arundhati Nyayam. What is Arundhati Nyayam? We all know in marriages, you are supposed to see Arundhati Nakshatram, Arundhati and Vasishtha. We are supposed to see. But the Arundhati Nakshatram is very small, right? It does not happen in Tamil marriages, because Tamil marriages, it happens during the daytime. During daytime, you cannot see Arundhati. You are supposed to see Arundhati during the night. But after marriage, they will just go out, and then plain day, the Vadya will say, okay, see Arundhati. The groom will also say, okay, that is Arundhati. The bride will also say Arundhati. Everybody will come. But I think Telugu marriages, they can actually see Arundhati because it happens during the night time. And when you want to show a star, it's going to be very hard to show the star, right? Because there are many stars. How can you point out, okay, that is the star that I'm going to show you? So what do? We say, okay, you go out of the marriage hall, you turn left. Okay, go out of the marriage hall, you turn left. In left, left is not Arundhati star. And then what do you say? Okay, there is a building, right? Look at the left corner of that building. In the left corner of the building, Arundhati star is not there. In the left corner of the building, there is going to be a big constellation in the sky. You know, it looks like a jug. I'm just making up all these things. There is going to be a constellation that looks like jug. See little bit right to that. There are going to be 7 stars, right? See the middle star. And in the middle star, the second star from the beginning, there is going to be a small star, that is Arundhati. It is called as Arundhati Nyayam, right? You are teaching something. You are not actually teaching in the beginning. You are focusing the students. You are orienting the students' mind towards something that they can easily grasp. And then you are going in steps. You are going in steps. When they teach complex numbers in schools, this is what they use. Or when they teach fractions, right? So they will easily tell 4 divided by 2. Everything is easy, right? 2. But I solve a very big sum. 1200 divided by 600 equal to 2. 600 divided by 1200. The student cannot solve that, right? So in one grade, they will say 600 divided by 1200 is equal to 1 divided by 2. They will only teach up to that. Only in the next grade, they will say, okay, 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0.5. Both answers are right. 1 divided by 2 is also right. 0.5 is also right. But what is the final answer is 0.5. The value is half, 0.5. But you cannot teach them that directly. You have to take them in steps. Okay, 1 minus 2. They will not teach it. In the same way, when they are solving quadratic equation, minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. You put everything in that formula. If b square minus 4ac is less than 1, they will say, okay, the solution is complex. The solution is imaginary. Grade 8, they will only teach that. Only later, they will introduce the concept of square root of minus 1. They will say square root of minus 1 is equal to I. And then they will solve that equation as, okay, 6 minus 4i, 5 plus 6i. So all these things they will only teach later. In the beginning, they will not teach entirely wrong. Solution is complex, is not wrong, but it is not the complete solution. Right? You go, turn left, you are going to see Arundhati, that is not wrong. But if you go turn left, you are going to see many things. On that thing, what is Arundhati, you don't know. So the solution is not complete. In the same way, Vedanta also employs this methodology. Depending upon who the student is, the Vedanta will show many different answers. Each answer is a right answer, but it need not necessarily be the complete answer. The answer depends upon the mind state of the student. The answer depends upon the mind state of the student. We cannot ask, hey, how can there be many answers for the same problem? We do that in mathematics. We do that in mathematics. What is pi? 22 by 7, 3.14. Pi is equal to 90 degrees or 180 degrees. Same thing, you have many answers. Each answer is correct. Each answer will be applicable for a particular scenario. 600 by 1200. 1 divided 2 by 2 is right answer. 0.5 is correct answer. They might look different, but they are for different person. They are for people from different learning pattern, right? So that is the approach Vedanta uses. That is why people who study Vedanta, right, we normally say do not compare notes. If you want to compare notes with the same batch of people. If somebody has studied Mandukya Upanishad or Mundaka Upanishad, you are just beginning with Viveka Chudamani. If you are talking to them, both of you guys are going to be confused. Because Viveka Chudamani is an entrant. Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad are finale. Brahma Sutram is finale. They will have knowledge of PhD. We will have knowledge of grade 5. If we speak to them, they are going to tell something. We are at different level. Both of us will get confused. And that is why we also say, Vedanta also say, do not change schools of Vedanta. If you are following a particular school, until you gain knowledge in that school, don't go and talk to other school people because the teaching methodology will be different. Right? And that is why we all say, don't learn Vedanta from a book. Because only the teacher will know, okay, this person is at this level. So we have to teach the concept in this way. If you read from book, a book is for a generic reader. Book is for a generic reader. The author of the book will not consider your level into account. Vedanta is the Maha personalized education that they have to do. That is why we have all these things. So this is one nyayam. Let me quickly talk about second nyayam and we will finish for the class because we are going to use the second. In fact, we are using the second nyayam right now in Viveka Chudamani. How are we using it? We will see that in next class. The second nyayam is Adhyaropa Apavada nyayam. Superimposition and negation. Adhyaropa Apavada nyayam. Okay, the name looks very complicated. Can you explain Adhyaropa and Apavada? Yes. I come to your house. I come to your house and then I say, hey, can you bring me some water? What do I ask? I ask for water. What are you bringing? What are you bringing? You don't bring water. You don't bring just water. You will be bringing water in a tumbler. Right? What do? I don't drink the tumbler. I drink the water and then I give back the tumbler to you. Right? That is called as Adhyaropa Apavada Nyayam. First thing that you do is the Adhyaropam, superimposition. You are superimposing water onto the glass. You are superimposing water onto the glass. You bring that superimposed water to me. It is what? Water plus glass. I only drink the water. I give back glass to you. So water plus glass minus glass is equal to what? Just water. Water plus glass minus glass is equal to what? Just water. I only drank water. I asked for water. I drank water. But I did not get only water. I got water along with the glass. What do I have to do? Okay, you have to drink water. அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக நீ கிளாஸோட நான் உள்ள போட்டுட்டேன்னா next time you will not give water to me itself. Right. I have to understand that the water has been superimposed onto the glass. Adhyaropa. And then I have to understand that I have to negate the glass. Apavada. I only have to drink the water. I have to negate the glass. Apavada. This is called as Adhyaropa Apavada Nyayam. Superimposition and negation. Why should we have this approach in teaching? Why should we have this approach in teaching? Because water is little bit more subtle than the glass. Right? Glass, I can take it in my hand. It's going to stay in my hand. It is little bit more tangible. It is little bit more easy to work with than water. Glass is more tangible, more gross, more easy to work with than just water. So I work with the glass, I just drink the water and then I negate the glass. I work with the glass, I drink the water, I then negate the glass in the same way. Brahman, Atma, it is more subtle. Brahman, Atma, it is more subtle, it is more complex, it is more unknown. So if I immediately introduce the concept of Brahman, if I immediately introduce the concept of Brahman to you, people cannot understand. So what do? They have to superimpose Brahman onto something that you already know. You have to superimpose Brahman onto something that you already know. Just like how you are superimposing water onto the glass. When I superimpose Brahman onto something that I already know, what do I know? I know only Jagat. I know this world. Nobody can say, I don't know this world. I know this world. So what do? First step. We are superimposing Brahman onto the Jagat. And then I teach the superimposed Brahman to you. And then what do? I slowly remove the Jagat from the equation. Just like how I superimpose water onto the glass. I give the glass to you, you drink the water. I slowly take that glass from you. In the same way, I superimpose Brahman onto the Jagat. Only then you can understand, and then I slowly negate that Jagat so that the knowledge of Brahman is present with you. With this, we will finish today's class. In the next class, we will expound on this Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya. We have seen several definitions of Brahman, right? Swarupa Lakshanam, Tatastha Lakshanam, and all I have told you. Yatova imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yatprayanti abhisamvishanti. That is the definition of Brahman that is given in Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahman is the cause for this universe. Brahman is the supporter of this universe. Brahman, when the universe gets destroyed, the universe goes back to being Brahman. All these things are Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya. The next class, we will understand this Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya with respect to some of the examples from the Upanishads. And then we will see how Acharya is going to use Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya in the current section of Viveka Chudamani. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So Pawan Kumar ji has said that marriage took place around 1 a.m. We saw Arundhati. Yes, so normally they in Telugu people they will say Arundhati, but in Tamil for some reason they do marriages in the morning, and even in the morning itself they will show Arundhati, show within double quotes Arundhati, and then we will continue with our